Yeah, there. I I could just say, as far as my personal career is concerned, I consider myself so very, very lucky. I mean, I've had opportunities which have come my way, and I've been able to say yes to them, and I've gone different directions, and I've learned from everything that I've done. I think it's made me uh, wiser, broadened my horizons, going into politics. My meteoric political career, which is like a meteor descending and burning out. But it was uh, all of this I would do over again. And so I reason I think that I have been so lucky, and I say this to my law students, uh, if they have an opportunity to be a generalist, uh, there are a lot of advantages to it. Being to being a generalist, as I have been, because as a generalist, you're always learning something new. You have to learn something new. And so, since I have, well, you learn, I mean, all of the cases that come before you on the Court of Appeals, for example, are cases, many, many of which nobody knows the answer to. There's no set answer to them. So you have to learn. You have to analyze the question and come up with the best, fairest, and um, most well-reasoned answer that you possibly can. And that's what I do in the class that I teach at Syracuse Law School. I give problems to my students, problems they don't know anything about, and ask them to write clear, concise analyses of these problems. And then we discuss the problems in class and we argue them. And so that's what I think lawyers do. I think you're constantly learning something new, and that is what has made it so interesting and intriguing for me. It's just been a wonderful experience.
As you've experienced it through the next generation, through your daughter,
Yes,
how has it been different for her in terms
I
of the
think
kinds of
I think
experiences she's able to have?
quite different from Marianne because she is specializing, and she's in doing what I never did, that trusts and estates and wills and that sort of thing, which is perfect for her because she has a family of three kids, and so I think that works well for her. It wouldn't have worked well for me. I don't think I would have been as fascinated with the legal profession if I hadn't gone into generally litigation. I mean, that's what I've done, either on one side of the bench or the other side of the bench.
With a full range of matters.
Yeah, I've been in the judicial process, and so in that I have been a generalist, and so it's just been fascinating as far as I'm concerned, and it's made it possible for me leaving the Court of Appeals and going back into the practice of law uh, to pick up where I left off. I just People have asked me whether
You've been back to the Court of Appeals as an advocate.
I have, and I'm going to argue another case before the Court of Appeals, which I'm working on right now, and the last case that I argued, I got a very good result, which means that the court did justice and decided the case properly. favor of my client. And the one before that was the biggest case that I've ever handled, really, and that was the budget case, yeah. And Chief Judge Kay wrote an absolutely magnificent opinion, beautifully reasoned, followed our brief quite closely. Unfortunately, it was a dissent. But that was a great experience. We worked so hard on that, and I've never prepared as thoroughly and carefully for anything as I did with those briefs and for that argument. And so it went well, but unfortunately the majority of the court didn't see it our way. But so it's just been a great trip, and I have been involved also in other activities. I'm fundraising chairman for our Hancock Legal Aid Department. I've been on the board of Hancock Legal Aid for a long time, and I'm interested in that. I served on Dean Furrick's committee, which is to change the way that Supreme Court judges or trial judges are selected. And then before that, Judith Kay had me, I've been on several of her committees, but one was the Craco Committee, which had to do with really trying to do something about the way lawyers treat each other, about collegiality, about decorum, and so on and so forth. And that was interesting. So I've been involved in things other than just doing professional work and that sort of thing. And obviously I think that is something lawyers should do, have to do. And I've tried to stay, I haven't stayed as close to Cornell Law School as I would like, but I've been on the advisory committee. I'm now ex officio or retired or whatever it is, but I try to stay up as best I can with what's going on here at the law school. And by the way, I've got to say that I've been most impressed with everything I've heard at this reunion. The Stewart's program this morning I thought was very good. I thought the program that you have put on, the tape, or the movie or the tape or whatever it is that you put together is excellent. And so I'm very proud of the law school.
And it's proud of you. And, I appreciate it very much.
Okay.
It's been fun for me.
Good.
I hope
Enjoyed it.
It's been fun for you too.
Yes, it has.
And we have a cocktail party we can go to now.
Okay.
Get you,